My name is Charles. 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It set me on a journey to better understand this condition. It's taken me around the world as I hope to change not only my life, but others living with this disease. I've teamed up with some of the best in health to find ways to not only control, but to reverse. It does not take much to live for others, and what we leave is how we will be remembered. I hope at the end of this journey, we will see that hope is a good thing and the start of a better future. Welcome to Reversed. I feel after it was all done and everyone left the set, even when we got home, the goal sort of changed for this series. We're all living on this crazy planet, and we can only do the best we can do with what we have in front of us. There are some great tools that can truly help our health. We were able to share some of those. We were able to see people filled with passion, be it experts or those who want their health improved. One thing is for certain, our health is really all we have. This series is for those that want that change. It's no flashy Hollywood set, it's no big bells and whistles. It's hope, it's education, it's inspiration. And that can go a long way. Welcome to Reversed.
What's going on, guys? This is Coach Bronson. I am back from Costa Rica. It's been a couple of days. I've had some time to kind of absorb everything that happened for the week that I was in Costa Rica with everybody. There's a couple of things I want to let you know what to expect when the series comes out, okay? Number one, more information than you ever thought you could possibly learn about the carnivore diet, okay? It's going to be absolutely fantastic. All of the experts there just dropped all the knowledge. So over the 5 days that we were filming, we had so much good conversation and good applicable knowledge, things that you guys can take home and put into practice in your own life, okay?
The combination of fitness, the combination of good nutrition is really what I bring to trying to help people understand how what we're doing in this journey isn't about fat loss. It's not about looking good. It's about improving your quality of life.
The idea that all of these people who all come from different backgrounds, who have different experiences, different focuses, the people that they're talking to, the solutions that they provide, we're all a little bit different. Just like you guys are all a little bit different, okay? You're going to hear different people talk about different solutions that you may at first say, well, that's contradictory. It's not the same as everybody else. Well, guess what? The bottom line, regardless, is eat meat, don't eat crap, okay? And that's what we're going to get into. You're going to see that message across the board throughout the entire series. It doesn't matter if one person's high fat, if one person's high protein, or vice versa, whatever it is. What you're going to find out is that really when it boils down to it, I eat basically the same way as Dr. Berry eats. Dr. Berry eats basically the same way as Kelly Hogan eats. Kelly Hogan eats basically the same way as Maria Emmerich eats. Maria eats basically the same way as Dr. Chaffee eats. Dr. Chaffee eats basically the same way as Bella eats, right? We're all doing the same thing, okay? We're focusing on getting as much nutrition as possible and finding what works best for us to help us move on our way. That's the message of this show.
Hey, it's Bella, Steak and Butter Gal. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm back at home in Seattle. The travel was long and pretty tiring, but as exhausted as I am, I cannot help but just reflect on all of the amazing conversations, memories, moments that I got to share with such amazing humans in Costa Rica. It was such an incredible experience.
When I add more fat, I feel better. When I add more fat, I feel happier, calmer, and satiated. When I'm not having enough fat, that's when the cravings kick in.
And I think the friendships that I made, the conversations that I had, and the things that I learned from my fellow guests and experts will always stay with me. I will continue to be inspired by this experience. Even though it was a couple days, it truly felt like weeks and so much time that I got to spend with the crew, with the team, with the cast members. It was truly amazing. And what I'm most excited about is just for viewers to watch this docuseries, this season 3, all about carnivore diet, and to just feel the inspiration, love, and connection that I felt. And I think it's gonna really come across so strongly in the show because of the amount of sheer vulnerability, the amazing laughter and connection and jokes and conversations that were caught on camera, and the meals, the people, like everything about the trip to Costa Rica made it so unforgettable. So I cannot wait for this show to come out. I think it's really going to change lives, and it's really going to enlighten so many people about the power of eating meat and trying the carnivore lifestyle.
Hey everyone, Dr. Anthony Chaffee here. Just got back from Costa Rica where we filmed season 3 of the Reverse TV series with Charles Maddox. So this was using a carnivore diet to reverse chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes, and teaching people and giving them the skills to optimize their health on their own without having to rely on medications and surgeries that may not be the best option for them, and heal naturally. So as usual, I'm back on call. I'm on call the next 6 out of 10 days as punishment for having dared leave in the middle of the year. But it was definitely worth it. I had such a great time meeting everybody there. All the different experts and guests were just amazing people in general. And it was just so much fun to be around so many other like-minded people and get together in all these large groups and talk about these topics that are very near and dear to all of our hearts and we all find very interesting. And most of all, I really enjoyed working with the guests who were reversing quite major illnesses and improving their life and their health so much in so many ways. It was just amazing to see, and to see how interested they were in taking back their health and improving their life. And that's always great to see.
So who here eats vegetables and salads and things like that? Who thinks they're healthy?
Well, I sure thought they were.
Yeah.
This is something that went back to when I was in 7th grade biology, learning that plants and animals are in an evolutionary arms race. Plants becoming more and more poisonous, so less and less animals can eat them so they can survive and thrive.
So hopefully this reaches a lot of people and they can get that knowledge and understanding on how to take control of their own lives, just like our guests did. I hope you guys are able to tune in when it comes out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Hey everyone, I just came back from Costa Rica filming Reverse TV show with Charles Maddox and all of the carnivore doctors and influencers, and it has been the most wonderful experience I've ever had. I had high hopes for it, but honestly, it definitely exceeded my expectations. I did not realize how much of a great time I was going to have connecting with the guests and helping them with their health concerns, reversing their diabetes, helping them cut out the sugar and the food addiction. Connecting with the carnivore doctors and influencers was just a blast. The reason sometimes we struggle to eat what we know is healthy for us is mainly because of those cravings, mainly because we have a level of food addiction that maybe we're not completely aware of its extent. I am so grateful to Charles and for the whole cast and the guests and everybody who was involved with making this happen. It was not easy. I know it's not a very easy to get brands to hop on board and to support this kind of thing. It's very new. We're still in the minority, but to see things like that happening just fills my heart and is so exciting and really makes me optimistic for the future. So I hope you enjoy this show. We've worked really hard and I cannot wait to see future seasons. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching.
Hey everyone, just got back from Costa Rica from filming season 3 of Reverse Carnivore. I had a great time, but I got to meet some absolutely amazing individuals, the doctors and the guests and the experts on the show. The doctors and experts, they just gave us a wealth of information about carnivore, about the body, how the body works, how the body heals from eating carnivore. And thank you guys really so much. You really, for 5 days, you gave us a ton of information that we're all going to use to heal ourselves and then also to help other people as well. Because that's what this is all about, right? You guys are helping us and then we take this information and we go help other people too.
And there's a a list of reasons why we recommend carnivore. So number one is you're going to be eating a very, very low carbohydrate diet.
You guys all practice different medicine, different fields, brain, heart, fertility, general practitioner, exercise, physiology and fitness. So, all areas, but one common goal, and that's carnivore. So thank you guys again. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, so I got involved with carnivore only 4 months ago, and in that 4 months, I feel a lot healthier. I feel like it's the best decision I made, really.
Home from Reversed TV Season 3 Carnivore. It was amazing in every way. I got so close. I made incredible friends. We had amazing talks.
So I want to take a different take on it too. If you're wanting the variety, there are so many different creative things you can make out of animal foods, and in particular eggs. So we've got Maria's Recipes, an incredible resource. There's all different kinds of breads, rolls, things that kind of taste like the foods that you're used to.
It was the most highly educational, comprehensive, profound gathering of brilliant minds, doctors, coaches, cooks, filming, editing, crew, director. I'm completely filled with inspiration, knowledge, empowerment, community, and we became family. It's absolutely incredible.
Hello everyone, Dr. Chaffee here. Just wanted to go through some of the labs of our guests, starting with Dennis. So Dennis had a very stable cholesterol profile from last year to this. Even though he's been on a high-fat carnivore diet, his cholesterol hasn't really changed too much. This sort of dispelling the myth, at least in him, that a high-fat, high-saturated fat and cholesterol diet is going to derange your cholesterol for the worse. In fact, his stayed very, very stable, and his HDL was in a good range, his triglycerides were in a good range as well, and everything else remained stable. His thyroid stimulating hormone was in a very good range as well. Sometimes people worry about a ketogenic diet damaging or slowing the thyroid. However, that is not the case here. He has excellent B12. In fact, it might show slightly higher than the normal reference range, but you have to understand that the reference ranges are looking at the average for the community. So these are not actually the average ranges for good health or optimal health. They are the averages for the community that you're in. This is why these reference ranges can vary between different labs, even in the same city. And since a lot of people, in fact, the majority of people, have low B12 and low vitamins and minerals in other regard because they're malnourished, the reference ranges are coming down as well. So in fact, his B12 is actually going into a more optimal level, even though it might seem even slightly high according to the reference ranges. His folate's also in a very good level, and he's actually lowered his steroid hormone binding globulin, which means he'll have more available testosterone in his serum to be bioactive. He also has a low C-peptide, which is a marker of good metabolic health, and normal insulin and no insulin resistance, so that's excellent. He also has excellent kidney function, and in fact his liver function tests have actually improved significantly, so that's also a big bonus from last time we checked his labs.
Hey, Dennis, how are you?
Charles, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Glad to see you.
Yeah, same here. I can't believe it's 4 months already, right?
Yeah, 4 to 5 months, and it's been some time. So obviously, I just wanted to kind of follow up and see how you're doing, how your health is, kind of share a little bit about the experience and how things have changed since you've gotten back. So how's the health?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I feel I feel like a different person, and I started carnivore just a little bit before we went to Costa Rica, so I had like a little bit of knowledge. But once I got back from Costa Rica, I just feel like I really kind of like tuned it up a little bit and just really went more like fully carnivore versus before where I was doing it, but I was not all in, I guess you could say.
Have you seen any specific health benefits as far as just
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my sleep is better. I feel like I've been practicing like intermittent fasting, so I'm not hungry all the time. Kind of lost my sugar cravings. Like after I got back from Costa Rica, I think that's kind of when I broke my addiction to sugar, I'll say. So
Yeah.
just not having the sugar is like I feel like it's I feel like I got rid of poison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So since going carnivore, this is a typical meal that I eat every day. Beef, butter, bacon, eggs, a little bit of sausage, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and some cod liver for my omega-3s. If you want to eat like this every day, you want to eat like a lion, go carnivore.
And it really is. It really is. And what would you take away from your time there? What do you think really, why, when you were there, what do you think how that could benefit so many other people as far as the information and just, what would you say you took away from that?
Yeah, so I mean, it was really a big deal being there with those doctors, and so I kind of realized that like how the standard American diet is just like it's like we're being poisoned. Refined, carbohydrates and processed foods and sugars. Like I never really, after speaking to the doctors and the experts, just realizing how bad that stuff is for our body, and it causes damage, and the only way to treat it is not by medicine, because really that's all we do really is when we go to a doctor and we realize that we're sick, they give us medicine to treat the symptom, but it's really changing the diet and exercising and becoming active, because that's how I did. I had type 2 diabetes and I'm free and clear of that now, but it's only because of diet and exercise and not from the medication.
Well, you look great. Obviously, you've been working out and staying in the gym.
I've been active. Coach Bronson kind of like drilled it into us that, we got to like stay active. And it doesn't matter if you're going to the gym, if you're walking around the neighborhood, or if you're getting up and down off the couch and walking around your kitchen table. It's just about being active. I try and do 10, 15,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Plus go to the gym. So, I'm really trying to maintain my my exercise levels.
Well, Dennis, I thank you so much for trusting me and trusting us and being a part of the series. And, we're forever connected, and I'll follow up in the next few months too, as well, just to see how you're doing. And, but thanks for being a part of this. And
no, thank you, man. I'm so grateful to you that, I was invited on the show. You chose me to be a part of it. And, what you're doing here is huge. And it's all about helping people, it's helping others. You had type 2 diabetes, so it's just about becoming a healthier person,
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Dennis was a joy to have on the series. At times, you find ones that truly want to make that change and follow through, even when they get back home. He's one of those I feel confident will make the low-carb way of living a lifestyle. He's already seen many changes, and the best is yet to come for Dennis. Coming up on Reversed.
Hi, Charles.
My favorite couple of the year.
I have had challenges, days where I get off the wagon.
Are you still doing carnivore or where you at?
Yeah, I've still been doing carnivore.
Susan is probably the most dramatic change that we've had. She had a massive drop in her HbA1c, which is a marker of blood sugar control, over the course of 3 or so months. And that's the average life expectancy of red blood cells, although that does change and vary under certain conditions. But her HbA1c was 13.2 prior to going carnivore, which is extremely high. And that's a sign that her blood sugar was chronically hyper elevated. And this is a very high risk for all sorts of diseases, including cardiovascular disease. In fact, having the pattern B, or damaged LDL cholesterol, the so-called small dense LDL cholesterol, that increases your relative risk for heart disease by roughly 1.7 times. But having metabolic syndrome increases your risk of cardiovascular disease by 6 times. And diabetes increases your risk of cardiovascular disease by 10 times, which is up there with smoking. So that's actually a much stronger biomarker when looking for cardiovascular health and overall health and metabolic health. And her HbA1c went from 13.2, which is over double, almost triple the normal levels, down to 6.3, which is just above the normal ranges. So she did excellent, and that was only in 14 months. And this is something that doctors quite often don't think is possible. Even a couple of years ago, doctors would say that's not really possible, that type 2 diabetes is a progressive disease. It only gets worse, and we can mitigate it or slow its progression with diet, lifestyle, and medication interventions, but it doesn't go backwards, it doesn't reverse. And in fact, hers has reversed. So she has cut her HbA1c more than half, and she's coming off her medications as well at the same time. So that is an excellent, excellent result. Susan also has the high HDL and low triglyceride pattern that we're seeing in the rest of our guests as well, making her again more likely to have pattern A lipid profile, which is again a good biomarker of cardiovascular health going forward.
Hey, Susan and Tim.
Hi, Charles.
My favorite couple of the year. Just want to see how you guys are doing and health-wise and your experience on the show.
I wanted to mention, Charles, I had gone off artificial sweeteners, not because necessarily it was raising my blood sugar or anything, but because I was wanting to eat more and more, and I knew that was a good habit. And so I went off artificial sweeteners while I was on reverse carnivore.
Wow.
And what is interesting is that something happened that I did not anticipate. Now, in my hands here are my x-ray results I took on December 21st before coming to the show, because I had this extremely excruciating pain in my lower spine. And it had been happening for almost a year or 9 months, and I had gone to the doctor. And we were looking for bone compression and that kind of thing. My results came back pretty good, no bone compression. But what was interesting, that when I got off that sweetener, immediately, that week, there was no pain. Wow. I have not had any pain in my spine. No more excruciating pain in my spine. No more inflammation. No more of those bumps and bruises on my skin. Wow. A third thing is, we took our in-body scan back in Costa Rica, and my muscle mass was 40% there. Today, my muscle mass is 42%, all these months after, the highest it has ever been. So that has been wonderful. And one of the last things for me, not the least by any chance, it's my publication of Sleep Like Diabetes Journal, in which I have shared the tools that I used to help people, because it wasn't tracking, it wasn't measuring, it wasn't using the sensor, because I never did put my fingers. I share it not to make a profit necessarily. I share this so that people can overcome type 2 diabetes and be their best selves without the use of medication.
You are wonderful. And Tim, I know you don't have any real health issues, but how has this improved your health? Okay, I would love to hear.
I have a surprise for you. I wasn't diagnosed with type 2 diabetes before coming onto the show. I still haven't. But I found out I wasn't so good when I came to the show. The stiffness and inflammation that I had, I'm going to say, was undiagnosed for a long time. I've been feeling not so good for a few years. And I just thought, well, you're just going to have to bear through it.
Yeah.
Since and I need to back up a step. If Dr. Sarah Zaldivar had a video of me for months, seeing how many pies, cookies, donuts, yes, it is a Canadian thing. We eat a lot of donuts, if it could be on our flag just about. That was me. And I thought, well, I'm thin and eat all you want. Since I've stopped that, and the session I had with Dr. Sarah just is with me every day, I was experiencing that inflammation and stiffness that I had. I feel like a brand new man since I came back. It sounds like a cliche to say I feel 10 years younger. I'm going to say I feel 20 years younger. I can't remember feeling this good. So I'm going back a long ways to even trying to imagine the last time I felt this good. The pain's gone. I feel as though I can run around and do whatever I want, and I do. So, I'm a huge benefactor from being on your series, Charles. I came in not even knowing what I had, and now I don't have that problem, and now I know what caused it. If I hadn't been on your show, I'd be going for the painkillers in the morning.
I can't be more happy for you guys, and we're always going to be connected, and I just thank you so much for believing in us and being a part, and I'll always be checking on you, so you guys keep rocking, and hopefully we'll have another series soon where we could bring you back and kind of maybe help you educate some other folks, right? Susan and Tim. What wonderful people and a wonderful loving couple. Of all the guests we've had on the shows, these two were probably the most willing and ready to learn, but also take action. From taking notes to getting home and applying what they learned. I was inspired by them in so many ways, and so glad to hear of their health improvements. Susan has gone on to write a book that we should all support. And Tim has been sending me notes trying to help with a new season of Reversed. I must say, I met two new friends that have changed not only my life, but many others.
Maria again has this pattern of high HDL and low triglycerides, which is excellent and something we commonly see with people on a ketogenic or carnivore diet. And again, she has very good kidney function.
Hey, Maria.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. It's been about 6 months, and just wanted to follow up on you. I know obviously we follow each other on social media and send each other messages here and there, but just wanted to see how you are and how the experience was for you. How are you health wise? Since the show.
I've been super happy.
Yeah.
Keeping my learnings going. So it's been a complete journey. I have my family following a little bit on like more carnivore things. So it's been good. I feel good. I've kept most of my weight off. I'm still trying to get some more off, a little bit more, but it's good. I rest good. I'm happy. I have had challenges, days where I get off the wagon.
And I was actually going to mention that. I saw you had gone to New York and had some Dunkin' Donuts
Exactly. Well, I had a bite, but I had to buy it.
I thank you so much, Maria, for being on the show, for just being a great sport and love your family, and I wish you the best. And of course, we're not going anywhere. We'll stay in constant touch, and if you need anything, we're always here. So, Puerta Vida, thank you so much.
Thank you. Pura vida. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Having Maria on the show was very important. Not only has she worked with Dr. Vegas, but she's also local. I wanted to make sure we featured someone from the lovely country that we film in. She can also set an example for many in her area and Latin-speaking countries that also suffer from many conditions based on high-carb diets. I hope the best for her as she continues on her health journey. And yes, at times, we all slip, but it's about getting back on track and having the right information to do so.
Natalie also has excellent HDL and very low VLDL, which is a good sign that her overall lipid profile is a pattern A lipid profile, which would be very favorable, having more large buoyant LDL cholesterol molecules, which are actually quite healthy. And so this is also a good sign or a good biomarker of cardiovascular health. She also has low complement and CRP, showing she has low inflammation, which is excellent. And so that's just a brief look into their blood markers. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show and the updates for all of our guests. Thank you very much.
Hey, Natalie.
Hi,
How are you, young lady?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just wanted to follow up. It's been about, I would say it's been about 6 months. And, you know, I must say that you always cross my mind. I mean, of course, I see you online and everything like that, but there's something really special about you. And I thank you for, number one, and I shared it before, helping me, in many ways with the series and connecting some dots and introducing me to people and really just giving your all. So of course we have to know, how are you doing? How did the show change you? What was your takeaways from health wise to just overall as an experience?
And I have to really thank you for letting me be a part of all of this, because I'm just a nobody who got interested in another way of eating that is, different from what's typical. And it was the last thing I expected. But it was such an amazing experience for me, because the experts that you brought on were people who I had really looked up to, and to now have some connections with them and some relationships with them has just been amazing. Now that I'm home from Costa Rica, I have been reflecting a lot on what the doctors and experts have been teaching. I've already learned a lot and benefited from them, following what they've taught in YouTubes and podcasts and things. But it was a whole nother experience to be able to be there with them in person and ask questions and get answers that apply to me. I was really blown away with how connected I felt right away with Maria Emmerich. Obviously, she's had a huge role in my success with weight loss and improving metabolic health so far. But also with her husband having the same autoimmune condition as me, I just immediately felt understood by her. I know that everything that's associated with that, the pain and the fears around the future and the life disruptions, I know that she gets it, and I could immediately feel the empathy and love and support from her, and it was a huge comfort, and I'm just really grateful that she was there.
Are you still doing carnivore, or where you at?
Yeah, I've still been doing carnivore. Yeah, that's been changing my diet that way. I can see down the road maybe reintroducing plants in very thought out ways, but I can never again really see myself eating the way that I used to eat, or even eating, some of the plants that I used to eat, at least the way that I used to eat them. It didn't serve me. And, learning about where the nutrition is, where the nutrients are, and having that aligned so well with what, I naturally crave, it's really hard for me to picture myself ever really veering off far from carnivore.
Yeah.
I kind of see this as a lifelong change for me.
Well, you are a wonderful human being. I thank you once again. And we're going to stay in touch. And I look forward to seeing your progress and just becoming friends and remaining friends. So thank you,
I
Natalie.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Have a great one.
You too.
Natalie was like so many of us. She was quiet, a bit reserved, but knew her stuff. She sat back and listened and came to get the most out of this experience. I can't say I was not a little bit worried about this, as the setting was, of course, to learn, but still a TV series. And on TV shows, we want those who are very expressive. But I knew a lot of people could relate to Natalie, and that was also important to share. She's become like a sister to me in many ways, and I'm so proud of her journey. I know this was not easy for her, but she did it and made us all very proud. Coming up on Reversed.
You need to see in your doctor a reflection of their advice.
I think if there's anything that I am most proud of, it's just this creation.
I think this is all about hope.
So what I hope this series will do is to at least allow people to know there is another way.
Dedicate ourselves to a simple code. Know your food, know your farmer. Our foods are loaded with omega-3s, CLA, branched-chain amino acids, and vitamins and minerals because we raise and prepare them in a healthy, sustainable way. Our efforts today allow our children and grandchildren to enjoy healthy food tomorrow. They're good for the planet and good for you.
I'm really glad you all got here, nice and safe and sound. I really think that at the end of this, there's going to be some change, some growth.
So I think the message that has to go out is the message of love, the message of peace.
The biggest thing that I want to see out of this season of Reversed is a demonstration of collaboration by the experts and an understanding that there is no one size fits all. And I want everyone watching to be able to take away from their experience in being in the house with us, being here with us, and learning and experiencing the absorption of knowledge, seeing how the guests are affected and impacted, the questions that they ask, the things that they're learning, and just understanding that there is more to the journey than just what we eat.
One of the things that I feel sorry about many nutritional systems is that people just want to achieve a goal of losing weight, for example, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds. And once whatever they are doing, it doesn't really matter what they are doing, but whatever they are doing, it works for them, they lose the weight, but they don't have a higher vision or a higher reason why they are doing this other than just losing the weight.
Because you need to see in your doctor a reflection of their advice. And so you can just imagine if you were my patient 15 years ago and I was fat and pre-diabetic, and I would give you dietary advice and you would look at me like, okay, doc, whatever you say. But now you can look at all these doctors. They are the epitome of good health, of energy, of mental clarity. That's how we live our life every day. That's our normal. And so I think every single one of these docs, you can look up to them and you can listen to them and you can trust them because they're obviously living the life that they're recommending for you.
So what I'm hoping that this TV series is going to bring is awareness in the mainstream with regards to our species-specific diet. Awareness that there is a better way. You don't have to be relegated to a life of food addiction and constantly thinking about the meals that you're gonna have every single day and constantly thinking about the food and its impact on your health and trying to recover from that. And so I want people to know that there is a better way and you don't have to suffer.
Projects like this are so important to get the message out and to make this a mainstream idea so that people can look into this and look at the information for themselves and look at the arguments on both sides and decide for themselves what they want to do and hopefully try one way or the other and improve their health.
Thank you, Reversed, for an incredible season. This is going to be a strength to all of those who leave, and I know that we'll stay in touch and follow each other's journeys as we grow in our health.
I think if there's anything that I am most proud of, it's just this creation of this community. And I have this amazing team of coaches, Emily included, where I get to learn from and be inspired from. And I think that is the reason for all of my work, is to connect with everyone and to be inspired, to get that oxytocin boost, and to build friendships with like-minded people.
And Reversed series is about that inspiration to help you be healthier than you've ever known before.
So what I hope this series will do is to at least allow people to know there is another way, and that if someone is diagnosed with anything, but especially type 2 diabetes, to understand what that really means and to have solid solutions in a way that they can fix it, and that could even cause other amazing changes in their life, like no cravings, no boils, and maybe even losing weight too. And mentally, I used to have so much more anxiety, so if somebody out there gets freedom from any of that, it's gonna be a great series.
There's millions of people that need help, and my job's not getting any easier. It's getting much busier because so many people are sick. Like 2/3 of people have some sort of diagnosis. And when you look at that, food is causing, we're an input-output system. What you put into your body is gonna give you an output. You wouldn't put diesel in a gas engine, but we're doing that every day.
I think this is all about hope. I want the guests to walk away from this experience and know that they have the power within themselves to improve their health and to take charge of their health. And ultimately, whether it's carnivore or even if it's some other tool that they use, the important thing is that they're going to recognize that they are in charge of their health and that they have the power to improve their health, and they don't have to depend on others to do it for them.